Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today I'll be sharing some of my top picks from the current Switch eShop sale covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. This week we're wrapping up a big sale, so be sure to check out the pinned comment for more videos on this same sale. If you do find the video helpful, then do not forget to subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 50k subscribers and I'm going to be pushing for it now in the next few days. Here I post reviews and deals daily, so it's all things Switch, and with that, let's get started. As always, I do have two winners to announce for two $10 eShop gift cards and two more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and the winners, they'll be announced in next week's video. Then if you are grabbing anything, consider using cornershop.gg for discounted eShop credit. You'll get 5% off at checkout using code CORNER. Let's kick things off then with House of the Dead Remake. It's currently 50% off and it seems to be a popular pick from this sale. Now I want to be honest with you, I wasn't a huge fan of this port. You can see that in my full review in the pinned comment. However, that said, I do understand the nostalgia people may have for it. For me, the main issue was that the current hardware, it just isn't optimized for a light gun game and the reticle constantly drifts, you need to reset it. It's a shame as well because it's clear that a lot of effort went into this port because it looks absolutely fantastic. Still, look, if you're interested, it's definitely not a bad price at all. Haiku The Robot is an indie Metroidvania experience with a Game Boy inspired design and colour palette. Now in this game you'll be exploring a mechanical world and uncovering the truth about the location while battling a corrupt army of technology. The controls feel smooth and I loved the platforming, speed and combat. The bosses were definitely a highlight for me as well. They really put your platforming and combat skills to the test. You'll also then be collecting items and gaining abilities along the way as you do progress through this world. It's currently 30% off and that to me is a great deal. Panzer Dragoon Remake also comes from the publisher who dropped House of the Dead for Ever Entertainment, but I do think this one is better suited. Wanted to mention this as I went back not too long ago, and I really do like the work on offer here. Since release, it's got several patches that fixed many other concerns, and it's best described as an on-rail shooter that you can move somewhat on screen to position near your foes. The story to me makes no sense at all. Then you're chasing a dragon, attempting to stop them before they reach a tower that could cause destruction. But yeah, basically don't come here for that, come here for the high score chasing. It's 90% off then, it's matching the low price, and you can see my full review down below. Lost in Play will be for the point and click fans. It's 40% off, matching the low. It's another one I reviewed here on the channel, which you will find in the pinned comment. The story, you are a brother and sister team who get lost in their own imagination. Now you must help them and navigate home. What follows is a heartfelt adventure that takes you through a variety of locations from realistic to fairy tale like. Not the most challenging games in the genre, and experienced players might find the puzzles a little too easy, but it is great to see the genre getting some love and I hope we see more of this cast in the future. The visuals are stunning as well, it's kind of like a playable cartoon and that is never a bad thing. MotoGP 20, I reviewed this one on the channel, I'll find that below. There's no Switch trailer unfortunately, but it's not bad at all honestly as ports go, and especially with this monster 90% off, that is a new low price. It's exactly what you think it is, motorbike racing, so think career mode and quick races. It runs well as well on the Switch. The only weirdness is in docked, shadows are not connected to the bike, so they can kind of have this almost floating look. Weirdly, the issue is corrected if you do play handheld, and yeah, overall it's definitely a difficult game to master, but incredibly rewarding, also incredibly fast. My only other complaint, honestly though, the lack of online. Not that that really matters now given the fact we have newer entries available. Starlink Battle for Atlas was an underappreciated gem, and the Switch build is by far the best thanks to the inclusion of Star Fox alongside their own themed bonus missions. Now on launch, this is another Ubisoft screwing up a launch by overcomplicating things with multiple additions and building in a toy element that absolutely flopped. Now this edition comes packed with 5 ships, 7 pilots, 12 weapons and no toys needed. The idea really is here though, mix and match parts digitally to build a ship that matches your gameplay style. I just like the arcade-like action throughout. It was just fun, which is exactly what I wanted, just fast-paced explosions everywhere, and then it runs and looks great as well. It's a shame it's unlikely that we'll be seeing more from this universe again. Our first winner of the week then, it's going to John, who called out the list as interesting. I do appreciate it. As always, I try to dive a little deeper into the eShop to find those titles that are not always talked to. And yeah, look, congrats on the win, John. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, we do have a second winner coming up later in the video. Super Mega Baseball 3 is a fantastic game. I reviewed it on the channel, find that below, and while it might have a cartoonish style to it all, don't let that deceive you. This one packs some serious depth. Looks sure as well, and now we have MLB, but I'd still be choosing this as my #1 baseball game on the console. It packs a huge amount of modes as well, from the expected quick matches to career, and I just really like the feel of batting. It even has a franchise mode, which goes beyond just the games, and it even packs as well local play as well as online. Now, as with any Switch Online experience, pick it up with friends. I doubt it's gonna be busy. It's 70% off then, which is matching the low price. Severed Steel is for the first-person shooter fans, specifically those that want something that packs a challenge and also rocks a fast pace. I wasn't the biggest fan, honestly. Visually it just let me down, but seeing other reviews, it seems I was in the minority. I also noticed the frame rate issues, which kind of topped it off. You can see my full review below. When it is working though and the resolution is up there, I can see the appeal as you essentially parkour your way through this world, gun in hand, whether that's the main story or the challenges. And trust me when I say this one definitely gets difficult, but tempts you back with kind of high score chasing. I still had fun, I just think they could have done better port work. It's matching the low price then here, 50% off, definitely makes the issues a little easier to forgive. This week then is a big one for me. I tend to pick up a game a week that I shout out, but this week it's actually going to be free. As always, that means it's not necessarily me recommending them, or rather, maybe you'll want to join me for the ride, but there was a few in here that I've had my eye on for a while. Now I'm doing that kind of hunting for eShop gems video as well. The first one is below, where I cover 5 games. I have even more excuses to go ahead and hurt the bank accounts. The first one for me then, Floppy Knights. This game annoyed me at launch because I built out an entire list centered on deck builders. You can find that below. And then an hour later, this surprise dropped on the Switch because, of course, it did. I'm hearing very good things though, as it blends turn-based tactics with card battler. It's also on other platforms already, so this is packing all DLC. That's some 24 new levels as well as 50 plus new cards. I've not even installed this yet, but it's 30% off, a new low price, and hopefully it's as good as I'm hearing. Tinykin next. I covered the demo of this one on the Switch. Now, outside of some minor frame rate drops, I was impressed, and it's 20% off here, a new low price, so it was definitely time to jump in. I know it's not a massive discount or anything, but sometimes you just need that little nudge, and that's exactly what this was for me. A third-person adventure game, you're transported to the wrong world, you're miniature in a human world, and you must gather up items to build a way to get home. I do have this fear it could be a little repetitive. There's a big collectathon element to it all, but I'm only hearing positive things, so I'm kind of trusting everyone's high praise. Undungeon then is my final pickup. It's 50% off on this one. I've had my eye on it for a while. Please be warned though, this one, the Switch review I could find was not impressed. It was around a 4 out of 10, and on Metacritic then it's going to be around 66%, but that is for the Steam build. Steam reviews, that said, are definitely being a little more kind. There's just not much out there though, so I'll be adding it to my next roundup. And this one, it's an action RPG. It seems it packs a huge amount of depth, which could be intimidating if menu management's not your thing, but overall I just love the pixel style throughout. I think it's got this stylish edge to it all that embodies the kind of clear dread they were going for. Sounds like the narrative is in depth too. You need to restore all dimensions and determine what will happen in the multiverse. I'm all for then the real-time combat, so yeah, here goes. Again though, risky purchase this one, so let me know if you've played it before in the comments and if I made a mistake. The Company Man is our penultimate game. It's a new low price, 35% off, and it's an action platformer with a unique spin. That is, you're running through an office environment after you got demoted on your first day. It's definitely not a great start. Now you're going to be battling your way to the CEO. Now, if you've ever worked in an office environment, this one just delivers on the locations. A HR department that is an ice world, an IT department that's full of tech out to hurt you, and then coffee machines which act as save points. It's simple, but a very smart use of these locations. I also love the animation style, and the platforming is solid as well. Just a shame it's short, maybe a few hours to get through it. It does give you a few excuses to head back in, but this price now, it feels just like a much better place to be. Snow White is our second winner, and they really want Samurai Maiden, but not at $40, and I've got a feeling probably a lot of people are joining you right there. I suspect that one's going to be a popular one once it gets somewhere like sub $20. Curious to see how quickly and aggressively though they do discount that one. Congrats so Snow White, drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance to win in next week's video. Cyber Shadow is our final game then. We've actually seen this one a little cheaper in the past, maybe $1 or $2, but I recently played and covered Bot Gaiden, which resulted in me returning to this. You can find my Cyber Shadow review in the pinned comment, but I was really impressed. Now it's just a tough as nails action platformer that has you tackling a world full of things out to kill you. There's a few mechanics like bouncing off the heads of enemies that doesn't really work all that well, but that is minor in what is a very good throwback experience. Now if you are coming to this one, again, just be warned, packs that old school difficulty in the sense it's going to be punishing if you make even a single mistake. I think it's a great ride though, and it's currently 20% off. And that is the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library, or are you holding onto that cash? Let me know in the comments. A shout out then to the patrons for going above and beyond to support the channel. It means a whole lot and really does help out. With that then, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.